Today on the Hopefulist, you get to choose the people in your life. Did your team win yesterday? And how about those commercials?
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Good morning. Here we go now. It is Monday, September 9th, 2019. Man, oh man, what a day yesterday. Football everywhere. I was loving it. Except from about 1 to 2:30. I was not really happy around that time because my Eagles were getting their butts kicked by the Washington Redskins. However, they did turn it around at halftime and come back to win the game, I believe, 32-27. So, starting off the year with a win. Very good news for us. It really does affect your day when your team is not doing well. My husband is a Giants fan. He did not fare as well as we did. He got beat pretty bad by the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys looking a little too good for my taste. Oh, no. They were looking pretty good. We got to play them twice, maybe 3 times if we get to the playoffs, which I'm thinking positively, got my fingers crossed. We'll make it to the playoffs. So it was a great day to watch some football. It was a great day to be outside. Joe and I decided to take advantage of the nice, comfortable weather and went to one of our favorite outside bars on the island yesterday, the Sandbar. And we hung out there for the whole Eagles game, ran into some people that we knew, had a nice time. And I had put up on my Facebook page yesterday that yesterday was the most wonderful day of the year, full of excitement, full of expectation, full of hope, and dreams will start shattering soon. That is the best thing about football, opening day. Everybody's got to start fresh. Everybody's brand new. Everybody is even. And then it unfolds from there. So the best day is the first day. So much hope, so much anticipation. Been waiting and waiting and waiting. And here it is, finally. Oh, woo, woo. Already killing me with the night games. Eagles play at 8:20 next Sunday night. Okay. The Giants will play at 1, so we will watch the Giants game. I don't know who's playing at 4. We'll find a game to watch, I'm sure. But I will have to stay up late next Sunday. Maybe I will have to prepare my blog post ahead of time. I typically write my blog post the day before, except for Mondays, because Friday I give myself a pass. And I take the weekend off. And then I get up. Well, I still get up at the same time. I just kind of get in my blog post, writing my blog post, and then moving on to the podcast. I'm running a little bit late today. Hope you don't notice. I was dragging my feet a little bit. Today is Joe and ours 8th anniversary. I almost said 9th just because I'm looking at the date, September 9th. But yes, it is our 8th anniversary. We got married on September 9th, 2011. My man, my hubby, my genie is what I had inscribed on his wedding band, my genie, because he makes all of my dreams come true, and he continues to do so. So I am one lucky girl. I will get into a little bit more about relationships. We're going to be talking about relationships this week when it comes to the blog posts and your inspiration and positivity for the week. Back to football, though. I'm sorry, Marcy. I know you want to hear about football. I wanted to talk about the commercials. I had mentioned this a little while ago when the preseason started. The commercials for football really are the best because they know that's one of the few things that people will still watch live. So they know people are actually watching the commercials. I saw 2 commercials yesterday that I really liked. One was for Spotify Premium, I believe it was called. It was a commercial with a boy band, and they were all standing together like in position and singing, but not dancing. Now, this was at a concert, and the crowd's like going crazy, and then they realize that the boys are not dancing. And the one guy's like, are we supposed to dance? Like, what's going on? And they're like, boy bands without the dancing is just not the same. So it was, I guess, a commercial to try and get you to bump up from your free Spotify account to the premium account. But I thought that was pretty fun, pretty interesting. I saw another commercial that featured a dad and his daughter. It was two sets of dads and their daughters. One was taking his daughter to a Mets game. One was taking his daughter to a Yankees game. And they showed them on their way to the game, wearing their gear, being at the stadium, getting hot dogs, all that kind of stuff. And it turned out it was a commercial for Facebook groups. And these two dads were in the Dads with Daughters groups. So that was a really kind of heartwarming, warm and fuzzy type of commercial. And I definitely took notice of it. So I liked that commercial as well. Excuse me. So keep an eye on the commercials. Like I said, years ago, Southwest had the best football commercials, but they just don't do it like they used to. I wish they would get back to it. Those it's beginning to look like football commercials they used to have. So funny. But I don't think I see many commercials from Southwest at all anymore. So I don't know if they've taken down their advertising budget or feel they don't need to advertise anymore in the same way that they used to. But somebody at Southwest, if you're listening, bring back those commercials starting to look like football season. I loved them. We loved them. And I even took Southwest the last time I flew. Took Southwest. There you go. It's working. So still on the subject somewhat of football, I told you last week about a woman that was at the New York Giants game. Apparently she is a season ticket holder. And she went to take in her 14-week-old baby to the Giants game, and she was told that she would have to pay for a seat. And she's like, I'm just going to keep the baby on my lap. And they're like, sorry, them's the rules. Baby wants to come in, got to pay for the baby. Well, she caused a stir, and she caused a stink, and guess what? She gets to take her baby now to all of the football games. This completely outrages me. It really does. This is a person who just doesn't think the rules apply to her. She argues that she works all week and doesn't want to spend any more time away from her baby. And it takes her an hour and a half to get to the stadium and an hour and a half home. And she doesn't want to miss that precious time with her baby. Then don't go to the game. Seriously. What is a 14-week-old baby doing at a football game surrounded by yelling, screaming, cursing, drunk people that anything can happen at any time? Not to mention, nobody wants to hear your baby crying. I cannot believe that we are indulging these people who are making ludicrous requests and then giving in to them because she made a stink about it. Pretty soon, there's not going to be any rules anywhere. Well, she's like, I have to nurse my baby. I'm nursing the baby. Okay. Pump. Do it before you go. It's really that simple. Or don't go to the game. If you're really that concerned about spending time with your baby, stay home. How much time are you spending with your baby when it's in the back seat, facing the back seat, because that's how babies have to sit in a car? How much interaction are you having with your baby then for that 3-hour round trip ride? How much interaction are you having at the game when you're trying to pay attention to the game? You want it all. You think the rules don't apply to you, and apparently they don't, because now they've changed them for you. Now she can bring her baby in, and whoa, wonderful us. We get to listen to her 14-week-old baby cry all season long. Boy, I wish I had seats next to her. She sounds like a real treat. Taking a baby to a football game. Ugh. These people just give in. New York Giants, what are you doing? Why are you giving in? Make her pay. If she really wants to spend time with her baby, she'll pay the ticket. All right, I'm going to move on before I have a conniption. because this stuff really, really bothers me. Pretty soon we're going to have no rules, no regulations about anything, because there's always an exception. There's always going to be someone that the rule is unfair to. And I don't know why everybody has to change because of one person. This is not a matter of being fair or unfair. This is a matter of a woman being completely selfish, and then they're just giving in to her selfishness. She's going to pass that on to her kids, so on and so on, whatever. Like I said, dropping the topic. Dropping it. Dropped. Not talking about it anymore. It's making me very angry. So on to the topic of the day. We are going to be talking about... there was a story I saw in the news that a couple was given a wrongful deposit to their bank account of $120,000. Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about $20 here. We're not talking about, a couple hundred. We're talking about $120,000. And then they promptly went on to spend it in about 2 weeks. They bought a car. They bought some ATVs. They gave some friends some money. So I wanted to know from you, would you spend it or notify the bank? I personally would notify the bank immediately. Do you know why? Because they will figure out that they put $120,000 into your account. And they will want their money back. Now, these people have now been accused and charged with stealing, which I guess they did. They knew the money wasn't theirs. And for them not to think that the bank would notice their mistake at some point, it's kind of dumb. So I would report it just because I know I wouldn't spend the money. There's no way I would ever spend the money, because I just know that they would come back looking for it and then I'd have to pay it back. I did have a situation once where I was at an ATM, a drive-up ATM, and it had the money came out onto a tray. And this was before I was going to work one morning. It was, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I got some money out, and there was a 20 already there in the little tray. That I kept because I figured I'm not going back to the bank and saying, hey, I found an extra $20. Maybe they would have been able to track down the person who left it there. I'm not sure. But my rationale at the time was, if I didn't take it, the next person that came along was going to take it. So, and it was $20. I mean, maybe I was wrong. Okay, I was probably wrong, but it was $20. But if I don't know. There are circumstances where I found 20s on the ground, and I'd be like, did somebody lose a 20? But yeah, I don't know. That I just didn't feel bad that time. Maybe I should have. I don't know. You tell me. So I wanted to hear from you. Would you spend the money, $120,000? 120,000, is that what I said? I'm sorry. Not thinking clearly today. Or would you notify the bank? Now, Marcy says, of course I'd notify the bank because they'd come looking for the money eventually. Exactly, Marcy. I agree 100%. Diane says, absolutely. Report it with audits and balancing daily. It will definitely show up as missing. Yeah. Duh to those people. Lynn says, report it. No second thoughts. Mandy says, report it. Dory says, would notify the bank. My conscience would never let me spend it. Well, yeah. That's another part of it. Not only would you, be afraid of having to pay it back, but somebody's missing that money. Yeah, you don't really feel bad for corporations and stuff, though. I don't know if Citibank was missing $120,000. I wouldn't feel that bad about it, honestly. But for your everyday average person, yeah, that's something to feel bad about. Now, Denise also says to report it. So there you go. We have a lot of very honorable, loyal, trustworthy people here listening and commenting to the Hopefulist each and every day. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that make you feel better to know that we all have some morals and values here at the Hopefulist? It seems to be very lacking these days. So I will go on to my blog post. This week I'm going to be talking